here. I'm just going to adjust a few things here just before we start here. But yeah, sometimes it's a little bit too loud for me in my headphones. But anyway, I've just turned the volume down here, just as in the gain volume here. And of course, welcome along if you are listening to me absolutely anywhere. I'm just going to test myself here, see if I'm coming out here, as this pretty much is testing the system out here. And of course, it is the Premiership talk here, Premiership Live, whatever you like to call it. Actually, it's called Match Live here. Although there's no football going on now because, of course, it's all finished for the Saturday. But I just want to test myself out, make sure that I'm coming out live. And, of course, and that people can hear me. So, yeah, if you're watching live, we do appreciate that, as always. And, of course, we'll try and put a conclusion after the game's gone out. Oh, I've disappeared. That's just typical, isn't it? That people can hear me. So, yeah, if you're watching live... yeah, it seems to have come out very loud and clear. That's the main thing. And, of course, yeah, wherever you are watching across the entire world here, hello to you. Very, very good evening to you all. If you watched the Premiership earlier, then, of course, you would have been smothered with great, fantastic football here from both sides of the spectrum, being it, of course, Premiership and, of course, the Championship League 1 and 2. So, yeah, first of all, we're going to talk you through the Premiership results, which have now come out. And, of course, the first one being on Friday, Chelsea against Luton. Of course, I predicted 2-0 Chelsea. It was 3-0, the full-time result. And Arsenal and Fulham was the only one out of all of these somebody has got right. Find out what that is and what result that is at the end of this live stream, wherever you are watching entirely. So, of course, on that note, yeah, the first one was the lunchtime game, was Bournemouth and Spurs. Of course, that resulted in a Spurs win 2-0 to Spurs. I thought Spurs would actually clinch that one in the end. I thought it would be too easy for Spurs, that one. That was the earlier kickoff at 12:30. But the full-time result was Spurs 2-0 away from home to Bournemouth. And Arsenal and Fulham was the one on the top of the list of the 3 o'clock games. And that finished a 2-2 result. No surprise there, you know, being a London derby. And Brentford, of course, against Palace resulted in a 1-1 draw. And Everton and Wolves, of course, Wolves nicked it right towards the end. Nobody expected that one. And they won at Everton 1-0. Manchester United against Nottingham Forest was a 3-2 Manchester United win in the end. And Brighton and West Ham, of course, nobody expected this twist in the tale. We just watched it a minute ago. I thought, of course, West Ham could have given away easily a penalty with a barge on the player of Brighton, which was a little bit unfortunate. It was a little bit sad that he didn't actually get it, the Brighton player. You know, what is a penalty these days? Is it a barge or, you know, is that not counted these days? And there was a ball to hand, which, of course, was handled by West Ham, which was also not given. But, yeah, the referee in charge of that match, Brighton and West Ham, was Anthony Taylor from Greater Manchester. So, yeah, he's another one of those kind of referees, a bit like Mike Dean in the studio of the Soccer Saturday. But, yeah, I don't know what people are making of the new Soccer Saturday host. You know, it's not as lively as it should be. We are trying to make it as lively as possible here. So we've got someone in the chat right now. So hello to you from Caister-on-the-Sea, Lisa May Stanbridge. Hello to you. Have you been a few weeks watching us here and keeping up to date with what we have been doing here? Are you a football fan? It's interesting to know if you are a football fan or if you are not a football fan and still like to watch us, which is quite interesting here. And is the sound coming up very well here? I'm using this beautiful source of, you are a football fan, or of course the sound is coming out right. Which one is it? So, yeah, we're using this wonderful sound coming through this kind of radio mic source fitted with one of these. A lot of people probably don't tell you about that. Of course, it's fitted with one of these, which is a receiver, which, of course, this microphone, if I was to actually stand a little bit further back, you still probably would be able to hear me. Maybe you could hear me in another room. But yeah, it's that extraordinary. We'll have to test that out one day. We are testing everything out right now, and very good evening to everyone here. We are on the mobile here. We have been testing all sorts of cylinders with this radio mic source here, which we bought for a cheap sort of rate. And of course, yeah, we got a really good deal on it. But yeah, it's definitely worth buying one of these when they work properly. Obviously, you have to charge them up, and you know, you have to charge them up all the time. Yeah, you're a Manchester United team. You'll be delighted, of course. Yeah, you're a Manchester United fan, rather. You'll be delighted with their 3-2 win, only just about, because they were 2-0 down, apparently. And, of course, they came from behind to win their game, despite, of course, Nottingham Forest being one man down. It's no surprise that Manchester United won at home, though, obviously. But thank you for sharing that with us, because there's not many people out there that share that they are football fans out there. But thank you very much for joining us as well. So yeah, just going through the predictions here that I have done. We're playing a game between, of course, myself, Nick C, and Giuliani from the Nice and Relaxing Show. And of course, we'll go through his predictions in just a moment. But one person out of both of us, which one of those that you might want to stay on and listen to and find out who has got 1 point out of all this. But before we do that, of course, Sunday the 27th of August 2023, that's Sunday the 27th of August 2023, of course, Julian's predictions, of course, is that. But yeah, hang on, I need to find my predictions. Oh, there we go. It's come up now. So Burnley and Aston Villa is a non-Sky game, but it's actually broadcast in America, okay? So that is the same time as the Sheffield United and Man City game, which is on Sky. Apparently, I've got that mixed up a different way round. And, of course, yes, I might have said something wrong in the highlights edition. So, yeah, okay. We'll start with Burnley and Villa. This is my prediction here. 2-1 Villa. I'm going for a away win on that one. And Sheffield United against Man City. Got to be a Man City win, despite Pep Guardiola with back trouble. So, yeah, he'll be back in September. But I say still 2-0 to Man City. I think they will still scrape that one. And finally, Newcastle against Liverpool. I've gone for a 2-1 Liverpool win. No, of course, I have got that misprinted there. I've actually gone for 2-1 Liverpool. I actually meant Newcastle on that one. So there is a misprint. I don't know if anyone spotted that. But I meant 2-1 against Liverpool. So, of course, yeah, I'm talking about 2-1 to Newcastle. If I've said Liverpool there, I've made a mistake. No doubt, of course, Liverpool would win that one. So, yeah, 2-1 to Newcastle, I would say. But then again, Liverpool could win 2-1. And I could regret that. That's just the way the cookie crumbles on that one. So I've actually predicted 2-1 to Newcastle, because there is another site out there by the name of Matt, of course, and his apparent girlfriend called Sophie out there. They're both Coventry City fans out there. Do subscribe to them, and of course I might share one of their videos on this channel, because they've got a lot of following on their channel. So yeah, he's predicted 2-1, and his partner Sophie, I believe it is his partner, and she's gone for 1-1 on that one. So if I said 2-1 Liverpool, I actually meant Newcastle. Okay, so yeah, that's the 4:30 kickoff on that one. So of course we'll go on to Julian's predictions right now. Let's flick over to that. All the listing is actually on the page of course, the community section of Touring With Us. If you want to go over and have a look at it right now, feel free to do so. So, Julian's, as in Giuliani's prediction of the, of course, let's have a look. We've got, I think it's just in reversed order here. So you can flick through if you like on your phones to see all the predictions that we've gone for. So, of course, he's gone for a 2-0 Chelsea win. It was 3-0 in the end. And, of course, he went for a 2-1 Spurs against Bournemouth, and it was 2-0 to Spurs in the end. 2-2 full-time result at the game between Arsenal and Fulham. He said 2-1. And Brentford against Crystal Palace. He went for a 2-1 on that one. That's Giuliani's prediction. He said 2-1. And it was 1-1 in the end. And Everton against Wolves. Wolves winning that in the late dying seconds, pretty much. And they won 1-0. And Julian predicted 1-0 to Everton. It is the opposite way around, I think. But yeah, Manchester United against Nottingham Forest. He said a 2-0 win for that one. And of course, it was 3-2 in the end. He got the win right, but of course, that doesn't count at this stage. It's a point per exact answer here. And Brighton and West Ham at 5 o'clock earlier on Sky, or Sly, if you want to call it that. 1-1 draw. We both went for that, but of course, yes, we both were wrong on that one, 100%. But it was West Ham 3-0 in the end. It could have been 4, actually. But yeah, it could have been more goals than we actually anticipated. So, of course, there is only one winner. Let me just go through his Sunday predictions. He's gone for a Burnley 2-1 win for Aston Villa. Okay, so Burnley against Villa, the 2 o'clock game. Sheffield United against Man City. Of course, he's gone for a 2-1 win. And the final one, 4:30 game, Newcastle and Liverpool, is a 1-1 draw. Okay, right. So that's what he's predicted. Giuliani predicted on the Burnley versus Villa. Sheffield United against Man City. Both saying 2-1 on both games. He might be right, he might be wrong, he might be completely wrong. But there you go. 1-1 he says for the draw. Not the draw for the FA Cup, but of course the draw in the game between Newcastle and Liverpool at St James's Park. So, of course, if I did say Liverpool on there, 2-1 Liverpool, of course I meant against Liverpool, okay? Didn't mean to say, of course, 2-1 to Liverpool, although it could well be, as I say. But, yeah, it's actually meant for Newcastle there. I don't know how many of you have spotted that. So anyway, of course, that's my predictions, and there's only 1 point that one of us has won. Of course, has anyone worked it out yet? Who's won it? Yes, you've guessed it. You're looking at him now. And the answer is me. Moi. Exactly. Moi. As in French version of me. I think that is what the French term for me is, unless I'm mistaken. But, of course, yes, I got the first point saying 2-2 with Arsenal and Fulham. That's one of our moderators' team, of course, Nikki's team there. I bet she thought she was going to win that one. I bet she thought she was actually going to win that one easily. I thought that at first, but of course I didn't think that Fulham would be 1 up at least against them, but they were 2 up. Were they actually 2 up? No, they actually pulled it back, I think, in the end. And of course it was 1-0 up to half time. But yeah, when teams are 1 up at half time, usually the second half changes the aspect of the game. Especially when Man United were actually behind by 2 goals, apparently. And then they scored 1, and then, of course, in that game they equalised, and then, of course, Nottingham Forest got sent off. Then, of course, 3-2 to Man United in the end. That's how it panned out in that particular game, but it pans out in different sort of forms, in different ways, That's the scenario on that one. So, of course, those are the predictions that we have done so far. So, only 1 point for me, of course, because I got exactly right. It's very difficult to get them absolutely spot on, but from this day onwards, I am a point up against Giuliani at the moment, but it's early stages, okay? Anything absolutely could happen at any one given time. So that's the football match day live. My analysation of the whole lot, my game of the day. I would actually pick a game of the day if I feel like doing a show like this, depending if my team wins or not. I don't really follow football as much as I used to, or get even upset about it because it's just not really worth it. I thought QPR would beat Southampton. I didn't really think that, but of course, yeah, it could have been a draw. But of course, somebody from Iceland actually predicted that Southampton would win. I told us yesterday. By the name of Jamie, if he's watching out there, he's absolutely spot on. I've got that right. I wonder next time if he can predict the score. That might be trickier than actually going for the win. But yeah, it's always hard to predict the results, as you well know. So, of course, he predicted that Southampton would beat QPR, and so they did. It was a lucky guess in that sort of way. I don't know how he knew that, but of course, he seemed to have sort of worked Southampton out there. But, yeah, good 3 points in the bag for Southampton. There's still plenty of work to do in the Championship to knock off Leicester City, who are top of the league at the moment in the Championship. But that's Championship. We're here to talk about the Premiership here. Let's summarise the Premiership then. Of course, the shocking result of the lot was, of course, Wolves beating Everton. Of course, Jordan, is it Jordan? No, it's Jordan, isn't it? Jordan Pickford for Everton, I think is going to be dropped for England, my opinion. I don't think he's on form at the moment. Yeah. The best probably game to see was the afternoon game between Brighton and West Ham. Of course, West Ham being my dad's team. Melissa Jefferson, if she is watching, she'll be delighted with that. Unfortunately, we weren't able to cover some of the games because, of course, the mainstream in the room, the mainstream TV, not actually mainstream TV because it's Now TV, which is owned by Sky. We have got the package for that, but the thing is, I couldn't actually view it on my phone. So, of course, I had very difficult time in getting some, scores up on the screen. So I had to use another source, unfortunately. That's just the way the cookie crumbles on that one. And, instead I had to go in the other room to watch the Brighton and West Ham game. And, of course, we need a little bit of quiet when we're doing the commentaries, and of course we've never done it in the living room before, so maybe that's an option one day, but of course it's the convenience of it. But anyway, that's another thing altogether. So the West Ham game was fairly good with entertainment, with their goals and all that kind of thing. It is early stages whether of course West Ham are going to be playing like that against big boys. We'll have to wait and see on that one. The likes of Liverpool and, of course, Man City and Chelsea, teams like that. I think they beat Chelsea. So, so they are going strong at the moment, West Ham. They are top of the league, actually. And how long that will last, I don't know. But, Fulham came back and got the 2-2, which they wanted to do. And it's a little bit disappointing for Arsenal because they could have got 3 points today. That was a little bit disappointing. And, of course, Crystal Palace coming back at Brentford was pretty kind of like an interesting one. And, of course, that could have gone either way of the game. And Manchester United against, of course, Forest, when they were 2-0 down, I thought, of course, I didn't actually see the game, but, of course, I saw the people analysing the game. But, of course, I think it was Tim Sherwood doing it, and he said there was going to be more goals in the game, but of course it wasn't the case. Not at 5 minutes to go. He thought there was plenty of goals into it, but I don't think that was the scenario. I didn't think it at the time, and of course Manchester United in the end comfortably just about narrowly escaped it, I think. So, yeah, like Manchester United usually do. But, of course, for those Man United fans out there, they would have been delighted with what they have seen. But, of course, it'd be an interesting scenario as we go on to talk about it for the next games. So, yeah, I'm going to go through very quickly the Premier League fixtures for, of course, next week, which would be in a week's time. I'm going to talk about something else in just a minute, something other than football here. I know it's Match Day Live, but of course, we do like to talk about other things if we can. But next week is as follows. Of course, that will be Saturday, the 2nd of September 2023. Apparently, that's when Pep Guardiola is back on the 3rd of September. That's a week's time. Sheffield United face Everton. That's probably an easy game for Sheffield United against Everton. That's the 12:30 game, and it is on Sky, not TNT Football. Of course, when they say TNT Sport or Football, whatever it is they call it these days, formerly known as BT Sport, it's also shown in America on NSBC or something like that, which we're not allowed to see in this country. I think that's diabolical, but there you go. That's my own opinion on that one. I don't know if anyone watching now would share my opinion on that one. But, yeah, have an opinion on your own on that one if you want. But Brentford against Bournemouth is the 3 o'clock game. Burnley against Tottenham. Ooh, I think Tottenham got another easy game. Chelsea against easy Nottingham Forest. Should be easy for Chelsea on that one. Man City against Fulham. That's probably another easy game. And Liverpool fans will be complaining about that, no doubt. Brighton and Hove Albion against Newcastle United. That is a Sky Sports game. And many more fixtures on the way. Let's have a look at Sunday here. And, of course, Crystal Palace against Wolverhampton Wanderers at 2 o'clock. And at the same time, apparently Liverpool is not on Sky. It'll be on NSBC in America, if you can get hold of it somewhere. And Liverpool face Villa, as in Aston Villa at Anfield next week. Arsenal against Manchester United at 4:30. That's a Sky game. And I don't know if there's a Monday game next week, because there's a bank holiday this Monday. I don't think there's one this weekend, but of course the following week there will be. I believe instead there is no Premiership game, but Cambridge United are facing Reading at 8 o'clock, and that is on Sky. Wow. Sky at Cambridge United. Wow. And they have actually got a football match there. And, of course, if you've got Now TV, you can actually take it with you whilst you are watching the game. How many people do that? But, yeah, Cambridge United have a game against Reading next week on Sky Sports Football Channel. Okay? It's the first time, of course, we've got a Sky game of a League One game for Cambridge United. That's going to give them some money and some boost on that one. Somebody gave us a like and then disliked it. I don't know what that was all about. But yeah, of course, put your like back on. And of course, yeah, maybe you clicked it by mistake. I don't know what was behind all that. But yeah, anyway, that'll be Monday the 4th of September 2023, Cambridge United against Reading. So that is coming back up. Oh, you pressed the right one. Thank you very much for doing that. I think somebody just winded me up there for a minute there. Maybe it's some Chelsea fans watching in right now. And, of course, yeah, tell us your opinion there. Somebody has just keep on clicking on it. Wind me up. Dear, oh dear. You either like us or you don't. So, yeah, some people are not yet subscribed to us, by the way, and make sure you do. And, of course, feel free to do so. We always welcome you to subscribe. And there's a lot of people that haven't yet subscribed but still watch our videos. Yeah, there will be some other videos coming up. And, of course, we will do an exclusive content video. I might actually do a special show in about an hour's time. starting at 9 o'clock. It will be, of course, at the OBS studio, so it'll be slightly different to what you're seeing now, because this is only the football show. And so I'm going to have a bit of a breather here. I'm going to do an hour's show, just for an hour, okay? And if anyone comes in and says hello, feel free to do so. And I will be using these special mics here. Can you all hear me loud and clear, by the way? Is there any problems with the sound? I just wanted to let anyone know. Is it coming out louder on your, of course, TV sets or mobile phones out there? What device are you watching from? Are you watching from a mobile or on a big massive TV in front of your living room? MTV, if it is on the the TV screens. But yeah, like I say, of course, there will be a special show tonight. Perhaps that's where I could get my extra guest on. Oh, you're watching on your laptop. Sorry, my microphone went a bit funny then. You're watching on your laptop. Wow. Of course, sometimes I watch on the laptop when it works. Sometimes if you've got the older version, well, I've got Windows 10 here, and of course, that will be phasing out, of course, in 2025, I'm told by Nick Ham of Haverhill in Suffolk, which is a great computer firm. Definitely worth checking out. But yeah, like I say, I'm looking forward to one day getting the Windows 11 as when, of course, people are able to get it. So yeah, you can get really good refurbished ones everywhere now, even online now, which is great. And of course, my one is connected to my I'm trying to get my wording right. Yeah, my mixer, rather. Okay, it's connected to the mixer, which then, of course, amplifies the sound, making it sound really clear, crystal clear. Hopefully, I'm coming out loud and crystal clear at the same time. I can hear myself as I'm talking, which is great with these receivers here, but we do have to charge them up from time to time here. It's one of those. I could probably really talk to you guys from a long way, like 98 feet apparently. I don't know how far that is. Don't know if I can actually talk to you down the road, but that's another thing altogether. But yeah, to wrap that up, fantastic lot of football, of course. And of course, if you want to subscribe to us, if you haven't already, make sure you do. If you want to support the channel in any way, feel free to do so. Of course, we got our merchandise up and ready if you want to go for that. And yeah, I'll talk about very quickly here, because I'm just going to wrap this up now. Just want to say about, of course, the video content, which of course is coming up on the channel. We've got something exclusive from Great Yarmouth for some really good travel to watch. You know, the X11 exclusive view from the front seat, and of course us having a little bit of a nice relaxing coffee somewhere. You'll find out what that is when you watch the video. And also, of course, we'll be having something very, very worth watching in just a moment. Hopefully I'll get this set up, and of course I'm hoping that I can actually relax the tensions out of you, because I've tried this before. I'm going to try it again, and the reason for doing this, I want to know, yeah, for this time I do want to, of course, the copyright people to come on and tell us, you know, whether they actually think, of course, it is a song that they know. And of course, the copyright people do actually detect some songs which I didn't even know that ever existed. So how wonderful is that? Are we going to get that funds back up before I leave tonight? So yeah, somebody came on recently when we was in Great Yarmouth, called himself the Mayor of Haverhill. So I know who that is. So yeah, don't worry. We've got bigger moderators, so it'll be harder to say things like that as of now. So yeah, they'll be checking in from time to time, making sure everything's running smoothly. So of course, congratulations to our new moderator by the name of Taste the Venom. It's not a fake name, it's actually a stage name. So yeah, we can tell between a stage name and a real name. So and of course a fake name. We know what they are as well. And of course, yes, the job of a moderator will detect that, of course. Very, very simple as that. So yeah, keep on your guard if you are attempting to be fake. So yeah, we try to, of course, entertain you on this channel here. So please give a warm welcome to our new moderator, as well as the others that are currently going here today. And of course, it's a moderator that started a few days ago. So yeah, he started, I think it was on Thursday night. So yeah, the date is on the community section there. His name is Jamie from Scotland. Yeah, the Scotland Highlands. But anyway, hopefully he hears that at some point. So yeah, please do join us tonight where we will be on. Well, if I'm going to be on at 9 o'clock, well, actually, what I'll do is 9:30. How about that for you guys? Just for a little bit here. So yeah, it's not going to be 11 o'clock, okay? But yeah, we'll try and aim, if we're going to have a guest on the show, right, they can come on and have a little bit of a chat with us at a certain time. So yeah, is there any hissing coming out? I just want to know if that's coming out loud and clear. So yeah, I will be checking back my voice later on anyway, just to make sure. But if there's no hissing, that's great news. But apparently, when I was trying to do the first half of the scores coming up earlier, I listened back to it and it sounded very hissy. Is it sounding hissy now, or is it sounding very loud and clear? Let us know in the comments before I go. Okay, so yeah, that sums it up for the Premier League at the moment. We told you the fixtures here. Just a quick reminder of the Sunday games here. Right, okay. That's well in the week's advance, so we don't need that one. We need the 27th here. Sound good. Thank you very much for that, Lisa May, for telling us that. Maybe one day you could be the next moderator. The more moderators we have, the better. So if you'd like to become one, then please do let us know, either on the comment section or, of course, by emailing us, touringwithusteam@gmail.com. Hopefully I'm not, of course, overstaining the microphone, as sometimes it sounds like that, but of course it probably isn't. Am I coming out in stereo as well? Or is it just mono? I need to know all those technical details at this moment in time. So Burnley against Villa is a non-Sky game, but it is shown in America, NBSE or whatever it is, NSB, NCS, I don't know, it's something like that. It's some sort of American channel, but we're not allowed to see it here in the UK unless you can find the available source. Sheffield United against Manchester City is also a 2 o'clock game, as well as the Burnley and Aston Villa game. And the last but not least, 4:30 kickoff, Newcastle against Liverpool. I've gone for a Newcastle 2-1. I've actually gone for the same prediction as this guy from another channel, who hopefully one day he's able to subscribe to us and give us a thumbs up for what we are trying to promote for them. They've got a lot of following, and so have we. So yeah, anyway, even if it's just one person watching us, means a lot of following to us. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone that has watched in. And tonight, of course, is a special little show. Well, I'm actually going to call it under a different name, of course. Yeah, find out what that different name is. But it will be only an occasional show. If we are out and about somewhere, the show obviously won't go ahead, or it'll be under a different sort of name. But if you want to come and join us tonight, we need you there. We need you to support us. And the more people we have supporting us, the better it is. The more comfortable we can sort of feel, and we can give that comfort back to you as well, into your very homes or wherever you're watching. You could be watching in the pub, for all we know, or on a train or on a bus. Sometimes you sort of get your headphones there, or on a laptop, as somebody said earlier. Thank you very much for revealing that as well. But yeah, wherever you're watching, we are here to entertain. I hope it's a good day for the Premiership tomorrow. But just want to round up, okay? Just one last thing. I know we're just talking about Premiership here, but of course, Premiership and beyond, I should have put there. So I'll just read you quickly the results of the Championship here. Birmingham City 2, Plymouth Argyle 1, Cardiff City 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Coventry against Sunderland was a 0-0 in the end. I did actually see someone, of course, filming when they were actually at the ground of Coventry today. I think it was that guy predicting Liverpool game tomorrow and many other games that he predicted with his apparent girlfriend called Sophie. I wouldn't mind having a girlfriend like that. But yeah, that's wishful thinking. But yeah, Huddersfield Town 0 and Norwich City, local for East Anglia here, and a place we've been for touring with us as well. 4-0 in the end. And of course, it's sad for Ipswich fans today. They lost at home at Portman Road to Leeds United 4-3, a staggering 4-3. They came close at equalising, but not enough time in the end. Millwall won 1-0 against Stoke City. Preston North End beat Swansea City 2-1, and Rotherham United only got 1 against Leicester, which of course are top of the league at the moment, and my team Southampton of course came close to that. We need to get some extra points and goals to knock Leicester down again. So yeah, that will be quite a battle for Southampton there, but of course we don't normally stay in the top half of the season for that long, but we'll see how it goes. Talking about Southampton, their win today was quite astounding. Of course, it was predicted by a guy that works in Iceland in Havel, Suffolk. He predicted Southampton would win, but he didn't get the exact result because I didn't ask him the exact result. It was 2-1 in the end at St Mary's. The first win for Southampton for 3 points, picking up for the Saints and beating QPR in that game. I didn't think QPR would lose that, but yeah, I was just happy for a draw. West Bromwich Albion 4, Middlesbrough 2 in the end, and we'll forget the German league for now. And yeah, just for now. League One sees Bristol Rovers 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Burton Albion, which of course I would call the former coach services, Burton. Yeah, do you remember Burton's coaches back in the day? But actually nothing to do with it. But of course, Burton Albion 1, Bolton Wanderers, the Trotters 1. Cheltenham Town 0, Northampton 1 in the end, and Exeter City, that's Exeter City 2, Reading 1. That's at St James's Park, but in Exeter. Fleetwood, not Fleetwood Mac as the band. Fleetwood Town 0, Shrewsbury 1, Leyton Orient 2, Cambridge 0, which was quite surprising that, of course, Cambridge couldn't get anything at Leyton Orient. Too far to travel, I think. Oxford won instead, which they beat at home at Charlton Athletic. Peterborough United lost 4-2 at home to Derby County. Port Vale, Robbie Williams' team apparently, and they won 1-0 against Carlisle. Stevenage against Portsmouth were, well, it was 0-0 in the end. And of course, last but not least for League One was Wigan Athletic 0 and Barnsley 2. In League Two, very quickly, AFC Wimbledon, which is what it's called now, 1, and Forest Green Rovers 1, Barrow 1, Wrexham 1, Bradford City 1, Crewe Alexander 0, Gillingham 0, Colchester 3, which is a local team, Harrogate Town 2, beg your pardon, Morecambe 0, Mansfield Town 3, Stockport County 2, and NK Dons, formerly Wimbledon back in the day, 2, and Doncaster 1, Newport County AFC 3, Sutton United, Tim Vine's team, the comedian of Tim Vine, 1, Notts County 2, Tranmere Rovers 1, Salford City 1, Accrington Stanley 2, Swindon Town 6, 6, and Crawley Town 0. I never knew that they got as many as that. But yeah, Walsall 1, Grimsby Town 1 was the final one on that one. Have we got any nationwide there? Very quickly on the nationwide here. Aldershot Town 3. I think it's Wealdstone 1. Oxtringham 2. And Chesterfield 1. Bournemouth 0. Oldham Athletic 0. Dagenham Regiments 1. Barnet 0. And Dorking Wanderers 2, York City 2, and Ebbsfleet United 3, Kidderminster Harriers 0, Gateshead 1, Woking 3, Maidenhead United 0, Oxford City 0. You can easily get confused with Oxford United, I believe it is, which is, of course, the other Oxford. And Hartlepool 3, AFC Fylde. I think it is, or Flyde, or whatever it is, and that's 1 in the end. Okay, that sums it up for all the English League, including the Premiership. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you all. Let's see if we can have one more thumbs up before we go. Come on, let's get the second thumbs up. It really, really means a lot. Someone keeps putting the thumbs up and thumbs down and taking it off again, and very, very confused. But maybe you'll put up the thumbs up after the stream's gone up. Thank you for watching. Bless you for watching. Stay safe and join us in about an hour's time.